Hey guys, it's time to expand our minds with the power of autosuggestion. Let's dive into how to be able to influence our subconscious mind, the scientific data that backs these theories, discuss what autosuggestion is, why it's so important to influence our subconscious mind, and how to use these pro tips accurately and effectively to get the best results. So, if you're ready, let's get started. I'm sure that everyone here knows what autosuggestion is, just under a different name, known as affirmations. We have heard or even used positive affirmations before in our conscious states. If we have, it's because we are countering a negative affirmation that's hidden under the surface. Like, for instance, I'm not good enough, I can't be rich, I will never find true love. We all have our own, you name it. Some may be aware of them and others not so much. That's not a problem. We have tools that we can use to rewrite these things that shape our personalities and influence our reality, from when we were little to growing up and living through life, all the experiences that we have. Autosuggestion is a technique for influencing your own subconscious mind through the power of suggestion. It involves repeating positive affirmations to yourself in order to program your mind to think and believe in a certain way. The theory is that by repeatedly suggesting something to yourself, you can eventually convince and persuade your subconscious mind to adopt that belief or the behavior being suggested. Now that we know what this lesson is all about, let's discuss why we even need to go into the subconscious mind to influence it to behave the way we wish. Why would we have these negative beliefs to begin with, that we have to do something to counter it? The science behind influencing the subconscious mind is not fully understood, but it is well known all around the world that the subconscious mind plays a significant role in shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and our beliefs, our very essence of life itself. The subconscious mind is believed to be the source of our automatic thoughts, habits, and emotional reactions, and it is thought to be more receptive to outside influence than the conscious mind itself. During the day, the average person only uses 5% of their time spent in the conscious state. The other 95% is spent subconsciously being controlled. That's a staggering thought to contemplate on and observe yourself through the days. It's not all bad as it seems. The subconscious mind is what keeps us alive when we almost get into a car accident or when we needed to fight for our lives. This machine we call the mind works in such a fashion that we allow the subconscious to rule over those decisions so they are not exerting so much energy, such as chewing, breathing, thinking, or even resting emotionally. I'm sure you can think of many things that you have skillfully placed in your subconscious mind as a resource. For me, in my life, a big one was how to draw a gun from a holster. A skill I do not use anymore, but would never have to think twice about it. It's there forever. What's yours? And what would you like to program to be there to help you better with yourself and your situation now? What we are speaking about here is one way to influence the subconscious mind. It is thought that repeated suggestions, either through self-talk or external input, can eventually be accepted by the subconscious mind and influence our thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs towards what we are influencing it to be. Now, just repeating a phrase like, I am happy, can yield results. But there are ways to increase the rate of success. So let's look into these. Throughout our time together, I will be teaching you everything you need to know to use these tools and how I use them in my life. We will be incorporating techniques congruently with autosuggestion like meditation and visualization to help bring the subconscious mind into a more receptive state, making it more susceptible to suggestion. I'm sure if you are here with me, we have heard of manifestation and creating your reality. You may or may not be in that place in your consciousness to comprehend how powerful the mind is. This is the basis for creating your reality through achieving your personality traits you need in life to live the life that you desire. This is a foundation to achieving what you are creating. You will not get to where you want to go without change, and significant change. This change that we were talking about is not the fake it till you make it. It's the spark to change your entire image and status, your personality, your values, who you are as a person. It is important to note that it is not always sufficient to bring about significant changes in thought or behavior. In many cases, it may be necessary to also address the underlying beliefs and emotions that may be holding us back. This skill that I'm going to teach you will highlight these for you to become self-aware, to be able to change them. This is about self-mastery. Everything else is the skills to get there, to redefine yourself, to rebrand. Let's talk about how to do this right and the fundamentals behind it. Now, to be able to explain this, I have a perfect analogy for how it is. It's how a radio works. If you do not know by now, we are all energy, and only two things exist in the world according to physics: energy and matter. Now, matter is energy too, arguably so. So let's look at this a little bit closer. A radio works by receiving electromagnetic waves that are transmitted through the air. These waves are called radio waves, and they are a type of electromagnetic radiation, very close in relation to thoughts or words. When a radio station broadcasts a signal, it does so by transmitting these radio waves through the air. The thoughts are picked up by an antenna on a radio, which converts them into electrical current. This current is then passed through a circuit called a radio frequency amplifier. This amplifies the signal for you. The amplified signal is passed through a filter, which removes any noise or interference that may be present. The filtered signal is then passed through a demodulator, which extracts the information contained in the signal. Finally, the demodulator signal passed through the amplifier and sent it to the radio speakers, where it is converted back into sound waves that we can hear and comprehend. Now, this is a very simplified explanation of how a radio works, and there's not going to be a test on this, but it should give you a general idea of the process. But the point being is this is exactly how our brain works with the process called synapses. We receive the energy that has been amplified by our subconscious mind in this state, and then the brain interprets this by a process called synapses, and our memory attaches a meaning to it. Without going into grave detail in neuroscience, as this is not the intended class, but I feel it's important to at least hear how real this is, as it will help you create motivation to influence your mind to your advantage. So let me take you on a little education journey here, a reminder for some. In the brain, a synapse is a small group between two neurons, or nerve cells, that allows them to communicate with each other. When an electromagnetic signal, an action potential, travels down the axon of the neuron, it receives the end of the axon and must be transmitted across the synapse to the next neuron, generated from your subconscious or autosuggestion. To do this, the neuron releases chemical messengers called neurotransmitters into the synapse. These neurotransmitters bind to receptors on the surface of the next neuron, transmitting the signal across the synapse and allowing it to continue down to the next neuron. A nice journey down memory lane. Synapses are a crucial part of the brain's communication network, allowing neurons to transmit signals to one another and to coordinate their activity. The strength and efficiency of synapse can be modified by various factors, including the activity of the neurons and the ability of neurotransmitters. That was a mouthful, so where am I going with all of this? This process, called synaptic plasticity, is thought to be involved in learning and memory. With meditation, increases the brain performance by bringing you into states of coherence. Kind of like if you were playing tug of war, but the other team decided to pull with your team. You double the power. Then add visualization on top of this and paint the memory of your brain to follow, and then auto-suggestion to create the traits. It's a concoction for success. It's a super juice. I used to climb my way to SEAL Team 6, create several businesses, and retire by the age of 30. Find my true love, and so much more. It's not magic, it's proven strategies that tap into the understanding of the science behind the brain and how to use energy. Or you can go with magic and manifest everything you want by thought. It just takes the belief. That just left me confused, as I was more masculine in my approach and needed logic and science to back my belief. There is a blend in this world of material and spiritual, and we must find it to use our full potential. And action and willpower is an ingredient you require early and often. So let's get into how to get started. Here are a few tips for using auto-suggestion effectively that will help you with your statement. And do not worry, as I will be guiding you through a journey in the meditations building on all these skills. If you do not have a statement yet, we will develop one for you. Number 1, choose your affirmations carefully. Make sure they are positive, specific, and achievable. We are building this in the statement that I work with you to create an executive statement that you can use until you receive your desired outcomes or goals. It is a map for where you are heading. If interested, check out the links associated with this video if you're not yet a member. If you're a member, hold on tight, as it's a quest that is coming up. Every line, every word is a suggestion to the mind, and you assign meaning to it and an emotion. I have workshops on just this skill alone, as it's very powerful to get focused, motivated, and drive with clear guidance to your goals. Number 2, repeat your affirmations frequently. The more often you repeat your affirmations, the more likely you are to cultivate the belief behind them, the feel to get it burning and moving. We are creating the traits here. We will do this every day in meditation. The homework every day is to wake up and hear yourself read your statement or affirmation out loud. And the last thing you do before you go to bed is to read it out loud again. You will be committing this to memory. You will be setting this into automatically run in your subconscious mind. Believe in what you are saying. Feel the words. Picture what you are saying. If you don't truly believe in the affirmations you are repeating, it will be more difficult for your subconscious mind to even accept them. It's going to block them. This sometimes is a journey because of the blocks that are preventing beliefs, and they will arise and we will address them when they do. The blocks are simply what your old subconscious program is telling us. That's why we create it in a way that it is emotionally driven for you. The traits will come. Trust me. More lessons on how to actively remove these blocks, so stay with us here. Number 3, use visualization. Visualization is by far my favorite tool and strategy that I've used throughout my life. In addition to repeating your affirmations, try to visualize yourself achieving the goals or manifesting the changes you desire. Every time you're saying the affirmation, visualize. Every time you're laying in bed before you fall asleep, visualize. Number 4, take action. Autosuggestion can help you believe in yourself and your abilities, but it is not a replacement for taking action towards your goals. This statement we create will highlight the actions we must take now. We must face our blockages that may show up as laziness, depression, anxiety, fear, loneliness, and a ton of other forms. We will push through all of these. We will fight and we will win. Remember, you are not alone and you are not meant to remember everything taught here. This is just the background nuances of the house. When you walk to your car in the morning, do you need to know how gravity is holding you into place and how the car will move to get you from what point to next point and what pistons are firing to even turn the engine over? No, you don't. You just get in the car, you start the car, and you drive from point A to point B. This is here to influence your masculine brain to accept reality, to allow space for the awakening powerful force you are bringing into the forefront. You are taking charge of something that your mind has done for you, or others have controlled you willingly or not. Time's up. It's time for you to achieve exactly what you came here to do. Whether you know what it is or not, it's going to happen. Start to develop your own affirmations. Let's dig into this framework to build the executive statement. Thanks for watching. Are you ready to define yourself in the new role in life? The new self.